In the light heavyweight division, Danny Christie versus Terry Brazier.
Everything here very even, Sean, except for it's like about a 3.5-inch reach advantage for Terry Brazier. You know Danny Christie looks calm, cool, collected, but he's going to have to close that gap. And that's where Terry Brazier has the idea of keeping his opponent at bay.
This is the bare knuckle debut for Terry Brazier. 11-4 in his pro MMA career. He's fought 3 times in Bellator. He was a paratrooper in the British Army. Usually, Chris, when we ask fighters, how would you describe your style? They say I'm well-rounded. Brazier said, oh, I'm an absolute brawler. I am not technical in any way.
Not technical brawler, but he said he's very aggressive. Been working on just utilizing his hands right now, getting involved with the clinch, bullying his opponent and pushing him around.
Brazier said, I'm all about forward pressure. I want to put my opponent, Danny Christie, against the ropes, implement dirty boxing, continually close distance, and continually land heavy to his body.
Stay into that pocket, get in the mid-range. That's where he wants to be. He doesn't want to stay outside. He doesn't want to turn this into a boxing match. It's like one of his keys is he's able to adapt out there in the ring. He's going to have to utilize that in this fight.
Brazier said, Danny Christie legitimately has punching power, but I cannot let him work off of his front foot. I have to keep moving forward, make him move backwards. Danny Christie is now set for his pro combat sports debut. He's had 19 amateur boxing bouts, describes himself as a boxer-puncher, and really prides himself on having a high ring IQ.
Said he wants to get out there, analyze his opponent, read what his opponent's going to do, and then decide how he's going to fight. The main thing, though, he has to stay calm, he has to stay relaxed, and it doesn't seem like a problem for this guy.
Christie said, I'm going to continually adapt during this fight. I expect a very fast start off the scratch line from Terry Brazier. I actually, with my style, prefer when fighters come to me. What I don't want to do is have to chase Terry Brazier around the ring.
Doesn't feel like that's going to be the problem, but the main thing, he said he has to use this to set up. All he's trying to do is set up that big right hand. He feels if he lands that, fight's over. But everything he's going to do is to be about setting up that right hand.
Christie also told us, I know Brazier is going to throw a lot. I feel, though, that after he throws punches, he leaves his hands down. It's in that transition where I can land punches, but I cannot force anything.
Was really impressed with his ability just to stay nice, calm, cool, collected. Didn't say that much, but those are the dangerous guys. Those are the ones that scare me, Sean. I don't want to mess with those guys who are so calm and cool, collected like he was.
We go to Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are set for the next fight of the night. Scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division. Presented to you by Skill House, the movie, starring 50 Cent and Bryce Hall. How far would you go for clout? Introducing to you first. Fighting out of the red corner, tonight he wears black and gold. He stands at even 6 feet tall. His official weight, an even 181 pounds. He holds an MMA record of 11 victories opposite 4 defeats, and tonight makes his bare knuckle debut. Fighting out of London, England, here is Terry the Dominator Brazier. And across the ring, his opponent fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight he wears white and silver. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. His official weight, an even 182 pounds. Tonight he also makes his bare knuckle debut. Fighting out of Carlisle, England, here is Danny the Bastard Christie. and our referee in charge of the action, Mike Belgrave.
The self-described brawler and Terry Brazier versus the self-described boxer, puncher, and Danny Christie. Both fighters up to scratch. The bell, round number 1. Quick jab off of the scratch line for Danny Christie. He's in the white trunks, black trunks for Terry Brazier. Brazier now big to the body. Left hand, another left hand from Brazier. Brazier coming forward again off the right hand. See the feint from Brazier, the head movement. There's the jab right back from Danny Christie. Christie on the right hand. To the clinch, double underhooks and the turn from Terry Brazier. Saw a bit of that 15 Pro Fight MMA experience from Brazier. The double unders and the turn.
Brazier using a lot of energy to do that, though. That works out great if you let Naff knock him out in the first round, but if it goes on, sometimes you get tired.
Half-time plum now snatched by Brazier. Duck under from Christie in the turn. Mike Belgrave, that's a soft warning to Terry Brazier. Wow. So much from soft warning, skipping the soft and the hard warning right to 1-point deduction. Wow. Belgrave saying a backhand back of the fist, taking a point away from Terry Brazier.
That's pretty quick for that call. I mean, they're in there, they're in the mix. Usually you get a warning in that one, Sean.
As the great boxing referee Jack Reese describes, silent warning, which is a glare, soft warning, hard warning point. Belgrave going immediately to a 1-point deduction. The legal back of the fist shot.
Sean, we haven't had many fights going the distance, so probably won't make a difference, but we'll see.
It's a stiff jab from Christie. Oh, big left hand from Christie.
That's a great job right now by Brazier, just turning his opponent, pushing him against the fence. He's got to make this a dirty, ugly fight right now.
Brazier on the underhook on the turn. Jab right back from Christie on the reset from Mike Belgrave. 15 seconds remaining, round number 1.
Brazier staying where he doesn't want to be on the outside right now. He needs to work his way inside, in that mid-range, in the pocket.
Right hand to the body just before the bell, the left hand late. That ends round number 1. So if you give that round to Danny Christie, it's 10-8. If you give it to Brazier, it's 9-9.
Okay, and they're going to show you right now the backhand. It was a little backhand, but not that big of a deal, I didn't think. And here's that left hand. I thought there was a left hand. Maybe that wasn't the left hand, so. Still some good work right there being done by both guys. Christie did a good job of landing some punches for that. Brazier looked like he was a little rock, grabbed his opponent and turned him over. Got where he needed to be. He needs to do more of that. Get in that mid-range. Stay in the pocket. Don't stand on the outside where your opponent has the advantage.
Seconds out called. Round number 2 coming up.
Toe the line. Back behind the line. Back behind the line. Knock him up.
To the second round we go. Danny Christie started round 1 with a jab. He starts off from scratch round 2 with a jab. Another hard jab from Christie. Sat down on that. Naked right hand lands for Brazier. Brazier cut. Bridge of his nose. Big shots on the entry. There's the double unders, the single under in the turn. Now half-time plum snapped by Terry Brazier. Rear right uppercut.
And that's what Brazier needs to be, right on the inside. Put his chest on his opponent's, his head, his chest, and dispel punches.
Brazier off the jab. Christie off the 1-2 entry. Counter right hand from Terry Brazier. Time called by Mike Belgrave.
Oh, nasty cut, looks like.
That is a huge cut on the face of Danny Christie. See the cuts in the forehead? Thumbs up from the Chief Medical Officer, Medical Fighting Championship, Dr. Don Muzi.
Let's see what that does to Christie. Sometimes it gets a sense of urgency. I got to end this fight now. I'm bleeding bad. Sometimes you go, okay, I'm fine, relax, take your time.
The chancery position held by Christie.
Another backhand right there.
Belgrave talking to both fighters, no point deduction. Right hand, big left hand lands for Brazier.
A lot more punches being landed by Brazier.
another 1-point deduction for an illegal back fist thrown by Terry Brazier. So he's thrown 3, and he's been deducted 2 points. One in round 1, here in round 2, a point deduction. Belgrave just told Brazier to throw it again, disqualifying you, ending the fight.
I thought they usually gave a 2-point and then disqualification. Brazier doesn't need to worry about these back fists right now. He needs to get inside and do work just like he is right now. This is where he wants to stay.
Right hand to the body, half-time plumb snatched by Brazier. Triple jab for Brazier. Time called by Mike Belgrave.
Both these guys are a bloody mess right now, Sean.
Again, Dr. Don Muzi. See, that's a lid cut.
Yeah, that's where they got to be careful on the lid. They don't like that to be in that spot right there.
Cutting Brazier's left eyelid. Final seconds, round number 2. That is the end of the second round.
And right here, we're going to see where that cut on Christie's face came from, I believe. Yep, it was just a jab, Sean. We've seen that many times. People think that jabs can't do much. They do a lot in this round.
Yeah, use your solid jab. I'm telling you, it's hurting. It was hurt 2 or 3 times.
There's that back fist once again. I think he threw it a couple times in that round. Yeah, I think that was the first time he did it because the referee didn't step in and take a point. He threw 2 back fists in that one. Sean, once again, we talk about guys with MMA backgrounds. Sometimes people hit the ground and they throw a punch. Sometimes they're used to being able to throw a back fist. You can get by with that once. It's usually a second and third time that they're going to really hammer you right now, and that's what happened there.
If you've seen both rounds for Terry Brazier, right now you have this 18-18. You would have 2 9-9 rounds. If you see both rounds for Danny Christie, you would have it 20-16. Point deduction in rounds 1 and 2. Big left hand on the entry for Danny Christie. Separation for Mike Belgrave. 2 cuts down the face of Danny Christie. He's just been cut outside of his right brow. Forehead cut open in round number 2. Brazier with that lid cut looked at by Dr. Don Muzi, closing seconds of the second round. 25 remaining here in round 3. 3 off the jab for Christie. Brazier on the underhook. This is when Brazier, I believe, Chris has been doing his best work in this fight. And he's gone hard with that left hand on the turn and down. Ruled the knockdown correctly by Mike Belgrave. Caught in the ropes.
Brazier's still hurt. He's hurt bad right now. Christie needs to jump all over him right now if he has the ability to.
Brazier just took his mouthpiece out. Brazier says he wants to continue. Belgrave will let him. There's the jab from Christie.
And that guy
could be near. Big shot, says the left hand, the right hand. Mike Belgrave taking a really close look.
Got to put his hands up. He might want to jump in there right now because this isn't going to get any better.
Huge shots. That is the end. Victory for Danny Christie.
I mean, Brazier was hurt the entire time. Christie did the exact right thing. He jumped all over a wounded opponent.
Chris, the irony of this fight is Brazier was absolutely doing his best work in the clinch, and yet on the exit of the final clinch of the fight is when he was caught and dropped by Danny Christie.
Just landed the profile. I think it was a left hook. I'm gonna have to watch it again right here. Here's that in the mix right there. Boom! Look at that left hand. Perfectly thrown. That did all the damage. Here's the end of the fight, it looks like, just continuing the onslaught, because you could tell Terry Brazier was hurt. Just too tough for his own good, didn't want to go down. The referee'd seen enough, he knew he was hurt.
Terry Brazier is a really talented fighter. Again, 11-4 in his pro MMA career, a paratrooper in the British Army. He tried to implement the brawl. He's favored what he told us, non-technical fighting style. He sells himself short because he definitely has technique behind all of that aggression.
I mean, and look at Danny Christie's face. Danny Christie's face is a mess as well. Look at Brazier landed 84 punches, 58%, threw a lot of punches right there, so he did a great job. Look at that, he landed a lot more head strikes, 73 at a 54%, did fantastic right there. He just got caught with a good punch right there. He kept throwing those back fists. Clinch strikes right there, had the huge advantage, almost 2-1 for Brazier. And look at that landing percentage, 85, phenomenal.
At 37 years old in his pro combat sports debut, Danny Christie showing his toughness, showing his skill, showing his class. Here's Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge, Mike Belgrave, steps in and calls a stop to this fight at 1 minute 22 seconds into round number 3 for your winner by TKO, Danny the Bastard Christie.
Sean, I love that fight for Danny Christie. He went through some adversity, got cut open, had to deal with some problems, but still came out the other end and got stronger as the fight went on.
Danny Christie said, I will continue to adapt in this fight. He was losing in the clinch against Terry Brazier, is where Brazier was doing his best work. He was winning in the open spaces. He adapted, he exited the clinch, landed that right hand for knockdown number 1, and that set forth the victory. The winner, by way of TKO, Danny Christie defeats Terry Brazier. There's the right hand, and taking the knee is Darren Hendry. Huge shots, that is the end. Victory for Danny Christie.
Watch 2 undefeated UK Warriors clash when Anthony Holmes knuckles up with Danny Christie.
Welcome to the new BKFC app. Get monthly BKFC events for $7.99.
People that are missing it are missing out big time.
Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, only $7.99 per month.
Anthony Holmes versus Darren Hendry. To the winner goes the inaugural BKFC UK Cruiserweight title.
You can see here Hendry has a slight 3-inch reach advantage. It's like a 3-inch height advantage as well. Hendry's going to utilize that. Not much of a reach advantage, but he can still make his opponent pay every time Anthony Holmes tries to step forward to land his shots.
We are now set for the co-main event. Scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds for the inaugural BKFC UK Cruiserweight Championship. Presented to you by Lions Not Sheep Apparel. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. Tonight he wears black and gold. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall. His official weight, 194.9 pounds. He is undefeated as a bare-knuckle fighter at 5-0. Fighting out of Southeast England, here is the bare-knuckle bad boy, Darren the Dazzler Hendry. And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight he wears black and gold. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall. His official weight, an even 194 pounds. He is also undefeated at 3-0 with 1 fight even. Fighting out of Castleford, West Yorkshire, England. Here is Anthony, the Yorkshire Gladiator Holmes. And our referee in charge of the action, Chris Batchelor.
Moments away from the start of our co-main. Undefeated Anthony Holmes versus undefeated Darren Hendry. The loudest this Newcastle crowd has been all evening. Hendry did not want to come fully up this scratch, now immediately backs off. Round number 1 underway. Both fighters that you see in black and gold. Blue hand wraps for Anthony Holmes, red hand wraps for Darren Hendry.
And both these guys, you can just see by their physical build, very put together. You can tell they both respect the other guy's power.
Holmes extending the left hand from the orthodox stance. Hands high and tight on the back pedal for Darren Hendry. Inside on the clinch, double overhooks. That will draw the immediate separation, and it does from referee Chris Batcheldor. Open-chested stance from Anthony Holmes. Much more conventional striking stance for Darren Hendry. Still very much a feeling out process. Allowing the mutual respect you just talked about, Chris. Left on the counter, not there. "50 seconds remaining, round number 1.
Both guys right now are just looking for that opening, looking for some feints, little things they can do and see how their opponent's reacting. Being both these guys, you can tell, have a lot of power. You can't just run in there and hope you don't get hurt.
Feint from Hendry to the inside. On the overhook snatch, that's the separation to get from Batcheldor. 25 seconds remaining, round 1. Hendry has been very elusive from the outside, now looking to come to the inside. Holmes, slight forward pressure again. Counter left hand. That is the end of round 1.
A few times in there, Hendry was able to land that left hand, kind of knocked Holmes back and made Holmes reevaluate and say, okay, I'm going to have to come at this from a different angle maybe. Holmes has got to be careful when they get inside in that mix. He cannot have that chin up or he's going to get hurt and dropped. Every time they tie up right now, they're both just, okay, let's get nice and tight. I don't want to get hit on the break here. There's that little left hand right there. I talked about happened a few times right there. Holmes has got to be careful in those exchanges. Once again, it feels like Holmes, he starts off in the southpaw stance. First time he switched right to orthodox immediately.
Hendry, as he did to start this fight, did not want to come all the way up to scratch. I don't think it's timidity. I think it's just simply not in the habit of it. Different bare knuckle promotions have different rules. Not everyone has the scratch line. Switch of stances. Darren Hendry started round number 2, as you saw in the southpaw stance, now in ortho. It could have been a big takedown. Possibly could have landed into the open half guard.
And that right there just showing the strength right there. You might want to get in there and do that just to intimidate your opponent, showing how much stronger than him that you are.
See the open hands of Anthony Holmes. At the end of round number 1, referee Chris Batcheldor went to Holmes' corner, told him if you're going to keep your hands open, you cannot keep your fingers extended towards the face, the eyes of Darren Hendry. Well, you can, but you can't do so legally. On the underhooks. There's the break order by Batcheldor. 60 seconds remaining, round 2. Feint from Holmes. Hendry stepping in and pulling back the jab again to the inside. There was the lift that time from Holmes.
Same thing, wanting to get that back, wanting him to show his opponent you're not stronger than me. I can do the exact same thing.
Hendry on the level change, on the turnaround. As soon as Holmes gave his back, call a break from Chris Batcheldor. Now 20 seconds remaining, round number 2 in this fight for the inaugural BKFC UK 205-pound title. Not there from Hendry. Still somewhat of an elongated feeling out process for these two undefeated bare knuckle fighters. Next up, round 3.
I feel like both guys have tasted a little bit of power from the other guy and know that they do not want to get hit with that. So they're trying to find a way to get in clean or get out clean without taking too much damage. You see just that display of power right there. Good guillotine choke applied by Holmes.
Perfect suplex position.
Probably should not do that in this sport, though. This is all about throwing the hands. He's got to get in a good position to do that. You can tell right now, I feel like Hendry's getting a little bit frustrated right now. He wants to get in and start the process. He wants to mix it up. He wants to land some punches right now. Holmes doing a good job of trying to frustrate his opponent. Holmes is trying to frustrate Hendry where he starts opening up and throwing wild punches, getting out of position so Holmes can counter clean. I like to see Hendry starting to push his opponent backwards, make him run into those ropes, and he has nowhere to go.
Interesting switch of stances off the scratch line. Hendry came up the scratch with his right foot on the scratch line. In the southpaw stance, immediately pulled back to the ortho stance. Bit of gamesmanship.
He's done that all 3 rounds so far, Sean.
There's the left hand. Push down, ruled the slip, correctly as such by Chris Baxeldor. Round number 3 continues with 30 seconds gone in this 3rd round.
Just look at that, not a lot of punches thrown in this fight so far.
Hendry trying to get off with the jab, resetting. Some disquiet now in this Newcastle crowd.
Holmes has that very square stance with his chest, the way he's throwing it right now. It's very difficult to get much power. You don't have much torque when you turn that right hand over. You're going to be more bladed, harder to hit, more of a aerodynamic target.
Previous sequence, Hendry turning over a short left hand to the body of Holmes. Holmes now trying to come forward from the center circle. Now it's Hendry taking the center circle to the inside. 40 seconds remaining, round 3. Hook jab, not there from Hendry. Hard on the clinch, quick on the separation from referee Chris Baxeldor.
Like Holmes felt like there was a second where Hendry wasn't ready, so he jumped on him.
Baxeldor has done a really good job of keeping this fight moving. The clinches have largely been inactive.
And these guys aren't getting in the clinch and looking to do work. They're looking to get in the clinch and just waiting for the referee to break him back up.
From the mid-range, the bell, we are through 3 rounds.
And this is going to be a very difficult round or even fight to judge so far, son, because not a lot is being landed, not a lot is being thrown. Probably the best sequence right there for Anthony Holmes right there. Quick little 1-2. And you can just see a look of frustration right now in the face of Hendry. You got to work on pushing his opponent back, mirroring his hips, staying right in front of him, either countering as soon as Holmes comes in or pushing his opponent backwards and getting off first, throwing those hard punches he has. Throw him to the body, throw him upstairs, but make sure you're getting your opponent to react. Once he reacts, then you take shots at what's open. If he's blocking the head, work the body.
Round number 4. Very even to this point between Anthony Holmes and Darren Hendry. There's the right hand, and taking the knee is Darren Hendry.
And it's hard to tell. It looks like is it the nose? Is it the eye? He's bleeding.
Blood pouring from the nose of Hendry.
He's still
beats
hurt.
the count, goes back down, and the win in lightning strike fashion for Anthony Holmes.
Not sure if he just broke his nose or what exactly happened, but you can see blood pouring out of the nose of Hendry. Tried to get up, dropped right back down.
Neither fighter to that point had really landed a true significant shot. And that was most definitely significant with the right hand of Anthony Holmes to end this fight.
Just waited for the right time, got his opponent a little bit frustrated.
Hendry beat the 10 count of Chris Bachelor, was up, took the knee, and that's the end of the fight. Class from both men. Holmes in victory, Hendry in defeat.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge, Chris Bachelor, reaches the count of 10 at 29 seconds into round number 4. For your winner by KO, and new BKFC UK Cruiserweight Champion, Anthony, the Yorkshire Gladiator Holmes.
Huge victory and fantastic debut for Holmes. Had a plan, went out there, implemented it, frustrated his opponent, waited for the right time, and struck. Well done, Sean.
Andrew Bakewell, the head of BKFC UK, putting the strap on the inaugural BKFC UK Cruiserweight Champion, Anthony Holmes. Well earned against the previously undefeated Darren Hendry. Huge moment in victory for Anthony Holmes. Both fighters showed patience, showed skill. Very even through the opening 3 rounds. And that right hand ended the fight. The winner, by way of 4th round knockout, Anthony Holmes defeats Darren Hendry. There's the right hand, and taking the knee is Darren Hendry. Huge shots, that is the end. Victory for Danny Christie.
Watch 2 undefeated UK Warriors clash when Anthony Holmes knuckles up with Danny Christie.
Welcome to the new BKFC app. Get monthly BKFC events for $7.99.
People that are missing it are missing out big time.
Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, only $7.99 per month.
To the welterweights we go. Franco Tenaglia versus Chaz Simons.
Once again here, Sean, huge difference in reach. Tenaglia's got a 7-inch reach to get him. Chaz is going to have to really get on the inside, utilize that high-level boxing he has to work his way inside. Franco's going to have to keep him away with that jab and pepper him with that too.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are set for the next fight of the night. Scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Presented to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Introducing you first. Fighting out of the red corner, he wears white and gold. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, his official weight an even 160 pounds. His veterans boxing record stands at 29 victories opposite 7 defeats, and he holds a bare knuckle record of 1 victory opposite 2 defeats. Fighting out of Croydon, South London, England, here is Chazza Real Talk Simons. And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight he wears black. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, his official weight an even 163 pounds. He is a kickboxing veteran of 22 fights, and tonight makes his bare knuckle debut. Fighting out of Alicante, Spain, by way of Buenos Aires, Argentina, here is Franco Tenaglia. And our referee in charge of the action, Mike Belgrave.
BKFC debut for the very experienced and talented combat sports referee Mike Belgrave. See both fighters already up to scratch. Simon said, I'm going to explode off of the scratch line with my jab.
Keep it clean. Get on with it. Knuckle up. Box!
Round number 1. Black trucks for Franco Tenaglia, and he has the fast start off the scratch line. White trucks for Chazza Simons.
Break! Break!
Ruled as a slip.
Tenaglia is just
Don't hit him on the floor.
vicious right now. Look at him. He has a look. He wants to take this guy's head off.
Box!
Low stance for the Argentine, Franco Tenaglia. Hooks from Simons, back out of the pocket.
I mean, Simons was almost dismissive of his opponent when we were in our fighter meeting, Sean. He acted like he had nothing for him, but I think he's finding out this guy's coming to fight.
On the counter, Simons comes forward and takes the right hand from Tenaglia into the clinch.
Step back!
1:15 remaining, round number 1. There's the jab, the hook to the head.
Keep them feet on the floor. Box!
Belgrave telling Tenaglia you have to keep your feet on the floor, meaning on the canvas, of course. Free left hook, counter right hand. Tenaglia landed that. Simons taking himself off balance. Good left hand again. Big shots, both fighters down. We'll see how Belgrave rules this, a double slip.
2.
Now Belgrave starts counting.
Down. Whoa.
Belgrave
5,
wiped the hands and then
6,
started counting. I've never seen that
7,
before.
8.
A little surprised by that one.
Step to the left.
I mean, he did get hit, but I don't think that's what caused the knockdown.
So that's ruled a knockdown in favor of Franco Tenaglia. Simons coming forward after taking the mandatory 8 from Belgrave. Overhand right, counter left hook from Simons. Simons now circling out, switch of stances from Tenaglia. To the southpaw stance, to the body goes Tenaglia, to the head goes Simons. Overhand left from Chazza Simons. Overhand right misses from Franco Tenaglia. Final seconds, round number 1. There's the left hook from Franco Tenaglia.
And Sean, you can just see a power difference right now. Every time Tenaglia hits him, you can see Simon's head moving. His whole body shaking a little bit right there. Chazza Simon is having very good boxing, landing some good punches, but there's just a huge power difference right there, and size difference.
The end of round 1, this is the start of round number 1. Simons talked about the fast start, Chris. Instead, it was the fast start for Tenaglia.
Tenaglia came right after. You can tell he has no respect for his opponent. He feels like he can just hit him at will. It's way too strong for him.
Now, this is ruled a knockdown by referee Mike Belgrave.
Straight right and left hook. And roll out.
And a knockdown against Simons, ruled a slip on Tenaglia.
Yeah, I didn't really see the knockdown right there, Sean.
All of that fucking standing up and looking like he's on fucking Samson. You ain't no Samson.
Simons is going to have to really utilize some good technical boxing right now. Be very smart about how he does it. Tenaglia is just coming. Look at that look in his face right now. Tenaglia is a beast, and he's coming after his prey right now.
Mike Belgrave calling both fighters up to scratch. Round number 2. Rangefinder jab from Tenaglia to start the second round.
Tenaglia switch it up right now.
So whether you agree with it, whether we agree with it, whether the fans, the fighters in their corners agree with it, most importantly, whether the judges agree with it or not, that was ruled a knockdown. So in theory, 10-8 round number 1 for Franco Tenaglia. Big shots, there's the left hand overhand right back from Chaz Simons.
Like I said, Simons even landing punches, but he's still falling backwards.
Tenaglia, low stance coming forward. See, heavy on the front foot. Think about the backgrounds, combat sports-wise, of these two. Tenaglia, 22 pro kickboxing bouts, 36 pro boxing bouts for Chaz Simons. You see it right there in the footwork and in the movement. Good entry, left hand overhand, right then the counter left by Simons on the exit.
Total strikes very even right now.
Smear of blood on the face of Chaz Simons. He was cut in round number 1. Tenaglia wiping his hands on his trunks. See the pawing jab from the Englishman from Croydon, Chaz Simons. Simons again pawing with the jab, resetting, pulling this fight back to the center of the ring. 40 seconds remaining, round number 2 of this welterweight bout. Triple jab, nothing lands, but it takes Tenaglia off his striking line.
Dipping that head down, he's got to be careful that lead uppercut doesn't land.
See continual movement from Chaz Simons. Now into the entry. There's the left hook, right hand. Simons did well to slip under. Left hook to the body, left hook to the head from Tenaglia. Overhand left, straight right. There's the left hand. Second cut on the face now of Simons.
Simons showing a lot of toughness right now. You can tell every time he gets hit, he gets knocked down just like that.
That is a clean knockdown. No controversy there. You cannot be saved by the bell in any round under this BKFC rule set.
9, 10.
The count of 10 reached by Mike Belgrave, and a huge win for the Argentine based in Spain in his BKFC debut, Franco Tenaglia.
It was just a matter of time, Sean, to land that one big punch. Simon showed a lot of head movement, a lot of skills, a lot of slickness by avoiding that for that long, but once it landed, that was it. And you can see here the jab that kind of started this thing going, that coming back with his own punch, and that's all it took. When he came back with his own punches, he opened himself up for that left hook. It landed right on the button. Like I said, Chaz Simons did a great job of being elusive. He was just in there against a much bigger, much stronger, much heavy-handed guy than himself.
You see the double flag, Argentina and Spain. Nice moment now between these two fighters. Class in defeat from Chaz Simons, and a first-class performance in victory for Franco Tenaglia. Here is Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge, Mike Belgrave, reaches the count of 10 at 1 minute 58 seconds into round number 2. For your winner by KO, Franco Tenaglia.
Tenaglia looked like an absolute savage out there. He looks like he's going to be a handful for anybody he fights in this division.
Franco Tenaglia told us, I will fight in the pocket, throw big shots, and take chances to record the knockout. That is exactly what he did. Chaz Simons was game, down with controversy in round number 1, down and counted out with no controversy in round 2. The winner by way of second round KO, Franco Tenaglia defeats Chaz Simons. There's the right hand, and taking the knee is Hendry. Huge shots, that is the end. Victory for Danny Christie.
Watch 2 undefeated UK Warriors clash when Anthony Holmes knuckles up with Danny Christie.
Welcome to the new BKFC app. Get monthly BKFC events for $7.99.
People that are missing it are missing out big time.
Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, only $7.99 per month.
I'm gonna be there.
Platinum Mike Perry, fighting out of Technique Boxing Gym in Mineola, Florida. Yo, what's up? I'm Platinum Mike Perry, fighting out of Technique Boxing Gym in Mineola, Florida. My accomplishments in combat sports, many UFC fights. I mean, I kind of shot up to the UFC fairly quick. I knocked a bunch of people out. I've had some lessons, I've made some mistakes. I definitely learned from those. I debuted in BKFC against Julian Lane, who had 9 fights in BKFC at the time, so he was rather experienced.
Big rights to the body from Mike Perry. Perry pushing forward once more with volume. They still might not like each other, but one would think they would have to respect each other after that.
Platinum Mike Perry!
For me to beat him on my first bare knuckle fight when he had 9, I feel like by the time I have 9 of these, I'm gonna be so good and so dangerous. This fight with Luke happened when he was talking shit to Jake Paul on the internet, on Twitter, and like I wasn't trying to let him steal that fight from me. Everybody was trying to get me that fight. So I was like, man, I'll outbox you. So I tweeted to him, because I don't think Luke's boxing is very good. I mean, maybe I'll find out, but even still, I believe it's not better than mine. So I called him out kind of on Twitter. David Feldman and the BKFC must have thought that that was a great matchup. They definitely like to take guys and move their weight classes around. And I'm definitely interested in it to go up against a former middleweight world champion. This is quite the opportunity for me. I'm digging deep within inside myself and working really hard to knock Luke out.
My name is Luke Rockhold, born and raised in Santa Cruz, California. Yeah, I've been in the fight game a long time. I was the former and the last Strikeforce champion of the world, 2-time defending. I don't believe we got the credit we deserved until I came into the UFC and took the UFC world title and became the undisputed world champion at middleweight. So I've been in the game a long time. I've been in countless title fights since 2011. I'm still at the top of the game, still fighting the best guys in the world, and I continue to do so. I think better than anybody else in this game. Longevity is the true sign of a champion, and I'm still here at the top, and I'm still competing.
Don't load it up, snap it. See how he's snapping? Do the same thing. There you go. Nice stuff, yeah. See, I like that block. That's hard.
Fighting gets old, and you get burnout in any realm of life, especially fighting. And being with the UFC, kind of being handcuffed, it doesn't allow you to really get inspired through the game. And having that freedom from them, giving me this, and then this opportunity with bare knuckle, it's a new venture, it's a new ground, and it's something that stimulates me and it motivates me every day. Especially a punk like Mike Perry thinking he can fight me. Fuck that guy. You can't beat me, you can't fight me anywhere in this world. You're a washout, I'm a fucking champion. I'm about to show you there's levels to the game, and there's weight classes too. You should have stayed in your fucking lane. I'm pushing the best shape of my life right now. I think I'm more in tune with my body than I've ever been. I took 3 years off, and I didn't do anything. And I needed that break from fighting. It has inspired me since. I feel like I just touched a little bit of what I'm capable of, and I can only further that. I don't want to fucking get old. I want to defy the odds of age, and I believe that can be done. People waste their time and they accept age. If you don't accept that and you do everything you can defy every odd and every circumstance. And so I enjoy this more so than ever, and this new venture just motivates me and inspires me to do more.
Some people just go for quantity. I want to land the kill shot. I think that's what people want to see, right? The kill shots. I gotta manage my weight. Maybe we can eat folks on Friday. If I get my weight down enough, Friday folks. I'm gonna just starve myself today. You gotta be able to call a dog and make comeback. People don't know how to run their dogs these days. Too many people adopting dogs that aren't for them, that aren't aligned with their values, and they don't know how to fucking control them.
If it wasn't for Luke, I wouldn't have the opportunity to fight against a former world champion. Even with some of the negative things that I might think about him, I have to respect what he's done. He is big, he is strong, biggest opponent I've ever fought as far as weight, height, and credibility. I'm gonna teach him a lot. I think that my toughness and my coming forward or my stupidity is definitely a raw technique that I have that a lot of human beings aren't willing to implement in their game. I'm gonna get in your face, I'm gonna try to knock you out from the beginning of the fight to the end of the fight, and I'm not gonna stop until you lay down. From beginning to end, I'm trying to knock you out. No quit.
A fight is a fight. When you take the gloves off and you're in this fucking small ring, you have to respect everybody. He's so dumb, he's dangerous, I think. That is Mike Perry. He doesn't understand, the danger that comes through him, and that makes a man dangerous, of course. I have to pay attention to that, and I have to be worried about that, but, Mike should be scared of me. I promise you, I hit harder than anybody's ever faced. I'm bigger than anybody's ever faced, and I'm more skilled than anybody he's ever faced. I don't care what he's taking, what he's on, it's gonna be a fucking long night. Or a short one. No one makes me quit. I work harder than anybody else in this game, and I got more heart, more will, and more desire than anybody. You gotta put me away. This is what is ingrained into me. It's a DNA. It's a champion, and not everybody has that. Some people run away from it, and I run to it. This is the game, and it's not for everybody. My experience in fighting has been a lot more than him. I've stood in front of guys that Mike would never stand in front of. If I stood in front of Julian Lane wouldn't last more than a round. If I stood in front of Michael Venom Page, he wouldn't last long either. These guys go in the distance, and they're close fights, and I don't expect this to be a close fight. I think I find my timing. Mike pops his head up and he runs forward, and I find my mark. I find my position, and I feel like I'm gonna fucking put this kid away early.
He's a big guy, he's cutting a lot of weight, he's coming down, and he's going down. It's simple as that, man. I'm so vicious in this game of boxing, let alone bare knuckle boxing. This is my shit, this is my world, this is my game, bare knuckle boxing. And there's a lot of hungry dogs in this game. And there's a lot of dudes who, they don't get what I get, and they want what I have, but my shit is proven. And when I set out on this journey to be a combat sports athlete all those years ago, I didn't know what it entailed. All the losses and failures and successes, and it is a long book of lessons that have happened throughout the career that I've had. And I feel like I've just gotten started here at Bare Knuckle, and that my career has finally started. I'm undefeated, baby. Let's go. I feel like I'm 100-0.
He does not understand how hard I hit. When I land, he's not gonna want to get up. I don't care how tough you fucking think you are. I'm gonna land my shots. 1, 2, 3, they're gonna add up. I've been in there with the best of the best of the best. I've seen them all from every angle. Boxers and fighters and every realm. Good luck to you, man. I don't think you're gonna get to me. And if I land my shot, you ain't getting up, Mike. I promise you that.
I'm gonna just be all over him, barking in his face. Barking in his face, hitting him with lefts and rights, punching him, breaking his ribs when I hit him with these bare knuckles. You know, blow for blow, hit for hit, chin tucked, and I'm coming at you, and I don't care who you are, how big you are, how strong you think you are. I'm Platinum Mike Perry. I'm the toughest son of a gun on planet Earth.
I am looking to knock Luke out. Every chance I get, really touch that chin that the internet seems to think is quite suspect.
No one's gonna make me quit. I'm gonna be there to the fucking end. Bloody and broken, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna come for your fucking soul.
You can't avoid a fight. And this is why I signed the contract. I had a lot of different offers, and to have Mike Perry and bare knuckle, there's nothing more exciting, and that's why I'm here.
I can't get comfortable. I have to stay sharp. I have to stay vigilant and mean.
There's just not much to say anymore. It's time to fight. This is bare knuckle. This is as pure and as beautiful as it gets. It's time to go make some art on your motherfucking face.
Tonight, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, presented by Bucked Up Energy Drink, is back in the United Kingdom as we make our debut in West Yorkshire, one of the nation's cultural capitals, coming to you from Planet Ice Leeds. It's BKFC 40, and we will open with 3 preliminary bouts. And we will conclude our evening with our main event for the BKFC UK Light Heavyweight title, Anthony Holmes versus Danny Christie. Hey everyone, with Chris Lights Out Lytle, I'm Sean Wheelock. Chris, as you and I both know, the BKFC app is truly the best value in all of combat sports. It costs just $7.99 per month, and it is how you watch our main card, which begins top of the hour, live tonight from Leeds.
Sean, we're putting on 2, sometimes 3 events in a month. That's only a couple dollars an event. How can you not get this app?
Chris, our main event features 2 undefeated fighters. It is for the BKFC United Kingdom 185-pound championship, Anthony Holmes versus Danny Christie.
And Sean, I'm really loving, we're putting on a lot of fights over in England. This is where the sport really started. You're getting the cream really rise to the top, and that's what we're seeing in this main event.
11 fights in total tonight on this stack card from Leeds. Chris, as always, you have the fight odds.
Fight odds right here, a lot of money to be made. There's just a couple that are really jumping out at me right there. I mean, Franco at minus 500. Very good bet. It's a lot of money, but I really love that one right there. Also, you have to like Johnny Graham at minus 400. I love that one. That's probably the pick I'm going to make. I'm going to go with Johnny Graham.
Earn a $50 bonus bet on tonight's card with your first deposit of $5 or more on DraftKings Sportsbook. Scan the QR code and enter the code BKFC40 to play now. The rules of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship as administered this evening by the ISKA. All bouts are scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds and are scored by 3 judges on the 10-point must system. Punching in the active clinch is allowed. There is no 3 knockdown rule. All kicks, knees, and elbows are illegal, as are all takedowns and submissions. We open in the light heavyweight division. The numbers from Crescent Tools for Arron Blakey versus Naff Higson.
And you can see here, Sean, Higson has a significant 6-inch reach advantage right there. It means Arron Blakey's going to have to get inside to land punches. It's up to Higson to keep him at bay with those long, straight punches.
From Bolton, England, Naff Higson, set to make his BKFC debut. Big opportunity for the 31-year-old.
And Sean, this being where the sport did originate, I like the fact that we have a lot of people who have a lot of interest in it. They understand, very knowledgeable fans, fighters. A lot of these guys have been around the sport longer than we have here in the States. So I do like that aspect. It makes this seem like a little bit more meaningful to some of these guys.
Into the ring comes Naff Higson.
And you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen. So I see these shows, I see these sequences, and I don't shy away from them. A lot of times people believe in things that they themselves, and they don't put it out there.
Arron Blakey now set to walk to the BKFC ring for the first time, and this his Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship debut. Chris, an outstanding aspect of BKFC expanding to the United Kingdom. We're seeing so many fighters from England, from Wales, from Scotland, from Northern Ireland, from the Republic of Ireland, from across all of Europe, getting the opportunity to fight in BKFC, and then we're seeing the elite fighters coming over and then fighting on BKFC cards in the United States.
And I love that. They do have a lot of elite fighters. Like I said, they've been around for longer than we have here in the States, so people understand it, they get it. They've been training for it for quite a while. It's just a little different. And the thing we're learning here is our guys who've been doing it, the longer they do it, the more polished they're getting, the more, you know, they're really making this their own sport. You already have that over there, so it's a fantastic thing.
We're so pleased to have for the first time in BKFC our ring announcer, the British MMA legend, the first Brit in the UFC, Ian the Machine Freeman.
Worked out with Ian probably in the year 2000, a long time ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live at the Planet Ice in Leeds, United Kingdom for BKFC 40. Our sponsor for the main event is Bucked Up Energy Drinks. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please let me welcome the fighters for tonight for this first bout of the evening. And this bout is a BKFC Cruiserweight bout sponsored by Fubo TV. And now introducing your fighter in the red corner. This fighter weighed in at 185.4 pounds. Representing Bolton from the United Kingdom, please welcome Naff Higson. And now welcome his opponent in the blue corner. This fighter weighed in at 187 pounds even. Representing Redford, UK, please welcome Arron Blakey. And your referee for this bout is Chris Batcheldor.
Chris Batcheldor has established himself as an outstanding bare-knuckle referee in the United Kingdom. The third BKFC UK card to be refereed by Chris Batcheldor. Final instructions, sporting touch of hands between Arron Blakey and Naff Higson.
He kind of pulled him up, they didn't have him toe the line, I don't understand.
Round number one, black trunks for Arron Blakey, white trunks for Naff Higson. Blakey immediately with the right hand.
It's a nice straight right hand right down the pipe.
Blakey looking to extend the jab, throws the lead left hook. There's the right to the body. Slight forward pressure early on from Arron Blakey.
You can tell Blakey right now, when he comes in, he's throwing hard shots. That's his defense right there, trying to work his way in. He's just coming with hard shots, making that
overhand right, then the uppercut. That sends Naff Higson back. Big body shots, and down goes Naff Higson. Here's the mandatory 8 count from Chris Batcheldor.
And Higson looks like, I don't think he's getting up already.
Higson says he can't see, pointing to his eye. That's the end of the fight, and that is a phenomenal bare-knuckle fighting championship debut for Arron Blakey.
Looked like there was a cut over the left eye of Higson right there, and blood getting in his eye. It just takes one thing like that. If you can't see, you cannot fight in this sport. You're gonna get hit with a lot of right hands if you can't see out of the left eye.
As Chris Batcheldor was giving Naff Higson the mandatory 8, Higson was pointing to his eye, indicating that he was having trouble seeing. He did not want to continue. Great refereeing from Batcheldor, recognizing the situation. A referee should not be trying to compel a fighter who does not wish to fight to continue to fight.
Sean, nothing is going to stop a fight quicker than you say you can't see.
Barrage of shots from Blakey.
See, I can't really tell which one did the damage right there. But anytime you cover up and just sit there, you're a sitting target. It's gonna be hard not to get cut open. I don't know if it had already happened before that. It was hard to tell, but probably if he's covering up like that, he probably was doing it for a reason he couldn't see. Nope, there it was right there. And that's why he's covering up in that manner with Higson, because couldn't see.
Ladies and gentlemen, after after 50 seconds of the very first round, we by winner by the way of technical knockout in the blue corner, Arron Blakey.
Sean, I really like the way Blakey came out, looked calm and relaxed, came in with hard shots. He understands that's what it takes, and bare knuckle looked fantastic in his first fight.
You see the great sportsmanship between Blakey and Higson. Higson pointing to his left eye, indicating the issue. Naff Higson on the outside in his BKFC debut, tried to get his jab going, the lead hook, but Blakey solving the distance, the pressure, the barrage of shots to the head, to the body, to the victory. The winner, by way of first-round TKO, Arron Blakey defeats Naff Higson.
Welcome to the new BKFC app. Get monthly BKFC events for $7.99.
People that are missing it are missing out big time.
Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, only $7.99 per month.
Let's go!
Tonight only, you'll receive a free gift with any purchase of $25 or more at bareknuckleshop.com. Check out the huge selection of merch to choose from, the sizes and styles for everyone. You can place your order now at bareknuckleshop.com. And again, a reminder, if you spend $25 or more, you'll receive a free gift. So knuckle up at bareknuckleshop.com.
To the heavyweight division, Crescent Tools brings you our tale of the tape for Rob Cunningham versus Wain Morgan.
And a lot jumps out here, Sean. 6-inch height reach for Cunningham, a 9-inch reach advantage, a big weight advantage. I mean, Rob Cunningham is just a huge individual, very nice guy as well. Morgan's really going to have to work to get inside if he wants to do some damage.
There's a place I go, it's a different high. Oh no, when you touch me, I get vulnerable in a different light. Oh no.
This is the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship debut for Wain Morgan.
You can see here, Sean, Wain much smaller than his opponent, not only in weight, but in height, reach. He's going to have to do a lot to get inside. He needs to push off that back foot, close that gap, come with hard punches, use some head movement. Rob Cunningham's going to be difficult to get into, but it's not impossible. All he has to do, we've seen it many times, use that head movement, overhand rights, get inside, work the body. Once you get inside his reach, you kind of have the advantage at that point when you're fighting in the pocket. So it's about Wain getting into that pocket and landing his shots.
Draped in the flag of his native Wales, from D-side in Wales, Rob Cunningham. You see Scotland on the inside of the flag and Wales on the outside of the flag. Rob Cunningham enters 1-0 in BKFC. Made his Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship debut last August. The Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship was at the famed Wembley Arena. Cunningham looking outstanding, defeating Brett May by way of second-round TKO. Overall, Rob Cunningham, 3 fights in the sport of bare knuckle. He's also had 2 pro MMA bouts.
And I really liked when we met him last time. Very nice individual, but the way he fought, used his weight, got inside a lot, leaned on his opponent, wore him down, and after the third round, I believe it really started doing most of the damage there. Probably gonna try and do the same. He's so much bigger than his opponent. He should try and get inside, be heavy on him, move him around.
There you see referee Mike Belgrave, who was one of the referees on that great card when BKFC made its debut in the United Kingdom last August at Wembley in London.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a BKFC bout in the heavyweight division. This is sponsored by Crescent Tools. Now let me introduce your fighter in the red corner. This fighter weighed in at 236.6 pounds. Representing Ashington from the UK, please welcome Wain Morgan. And now welcome his opponent in the blue corner. This fighter weighed in at 285 pound even. Representing D-side from North Wales, let me hear it for Rob Cunningham. And your referee for this bout, Mike Belgrave.
Mike Belgrave now calling both fighters up to scratch. Again, you see a height advantage for Rob Cunningham, 6'4" to Wain Morgan's 5'10". Round number one, fast start off of scratch for Rob Cunningham. He's in the black and gold trunks, black and pink trunks for Wain Morgan.
Wain Morgan doing a good job of closing that gap by throwing hard punches right away.
Walk down pressure from Cunningham. Both fighters with a lot of power. Underhook now, snatched by Wain Morgan. Quick separation from Mike Belgrave. Call of knuckle up, right back to it. Morgan circling on the outside. Counter right hand from Wain Morgan. Cunningham walking through that punch. Short right hand on the inside from Morgan.
Wain Morgan doing a good job of dropping his head and throwing these overhand punches, but Cunningham's starting to try and turn over under that punch and land the uppercut. That's what we have to do when somebody's ducking their head.
Rear right uppercuts. That was clever from Cunningham after the Morgan jab. Again into the clinch. Good refereeing from Mike Belgrave, allowing the active clinch. Both fighters throwing to the body, now the separation. Morgan complaining to Belgrave to no avail. He was punched in the back of the head by Cunningham. Big rear right uppercut from Cunningham. Chris, that punch is there early.
And that's what sometimes it takes a little bit of timing and it takes a minute to figure that out. But when they keep ducking their head in there, you just have to eventually time it. And that's what the first part is, figuring out exactly where you have to throw that uppercut.
Into the clinch. The separation, 45 seconds remaining, round number one of this heavyweight bout. Again, forward pressure from Rob Cunningham. On the underhook. Hands nearly together from Cunningham. That draws the immediate break from Belgrave. Now 25 seconds remaining, round number one. Long straight jab from the fighter from North Wales, Rob Cunningham. The Englishman Wain Morgan from Ashington dipping his head. Good right hand and overhand right now from Morgan. That sends back Rob Cunningham. This is a fun fight, Chris.
Morgan landed some good things on the inside and those overhands from the outside.
There is the bell. That is the end of round one.
So Cunningham's doing a good job of trying to find a home for that uppercut as Morgan drops his head. So got to be careful of that if you're Morgan. You can't keep dropping that head and throw that overhand right. You're going to get caught with that uppercut if you don't see it properly. And there was a good right hand though by Morgan. Just got to be careful continuing to go the well too many times and dropping that head. If you get caught with it once when you're not seeing that punch, you're probably going to go down. I'd like to see Cunningham grabbing, tying up a little more, trying to get on top of his opponent and pushing his head down. making him carry your weight.
Fast start off of scratch to start round number 2 for Rob Cunningham, just as he did to start round number 1. Here's the left hand. Cunningham off the jab. Forward pressure again. Morgan has been very effective, dipping his head and doing just that, throwing the overhand right. Slight swelling now under the left eye of Wayne Morgan. Overhand right from Cunningham.
Cunningham might want to start doing some body work right here. Target the body. Looks like it's a little soft on his opponent right there.
Cunningham high on the underhook to the left hand. Short shots to the side of the head of Wayne Morgan. 125 remaining round 2. More left hands now from Rob Cunningham.
Like he looked a little confused there for a second. Did he say break or stop? And they're letting him go a lot in this.
Now taking the knee from the barrage of left hands is Wayne Morgan.
And none of those were hard shots, but they were well placed, Sean.
Morgan shakes his head no, and just like that, Rob Cunningham now 2-0 in BKFC. He is definitely a heavyweight to watch.
And you can just see, like, there wasn't anything meaningful right there. It was just volume, overwhelming. You could tell that Morgan was in a bad place where he couldn't get out of. It's exhausting being out there. He was getting hit a lot. He said, this is not for me. I'm done.
The accumulation of blows from Rob Cunningham, who stands 6'4" and weighed in at 285 pounds even for this heavyweight bout.
How many stones is that, Sean?
Chris, you figured out stones. I'm the one with the English wife, and I still don't know.
It's a lot.
I don't know stone, I don't know metric. I am from Kansas.
There it is, just a lot of short little left hands that are just open. They're not landing clean, they're not landing in a great spot, but it's enough overwhelming just volume. These little shots, and you can see Morgan doing what he can to try and block it, but he's overmatched right now. A bigger individual is just putting weight on it, making it difficult, so eventually Morgan felt like he had nothing to do. He's trying to tie his opponent up, but that's where the weight, the size, and the strength comes into play.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute 3 seconds of the second round, we have a winner by the way of technical knockout in the blue corner, Rob Cunningham.
And just like that, Sean, Rob Cunningham 2-0, massive individual. Cannot wait to see this guy progress. He could probably contend for BKFC UK.
Wayne Morgan continued to come forward. Definitely was landing with the overhand right. For Rob Cunningham, the placement and the power. Just relentless on the shots all the way to the finish in round number 2. Great sportsmanship displayed between these two heavyweights. All respect in that heavyweight fight, which both men definitely threw big, landed big. To the inside, and relentless with those short left hands to the head until Wayne Morgan hit the canvas. The winner by way of second round TKO, Rob Cunningham defeats Wayne Morgan.
Welcome to the new BKFC app. Get monthly BKFC events for $7.99.
People that are missing it are missing out big time.
Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, only $7.99 per month.
Let's go!
Tonight only, you'll receive a free gift with any purchase of $25 or more at bareknuckleshop.com. Check out the huge selection of merch to choose from, the sizes and styles for everyone. You can place your order now at bareknuckleshop.com. And again, a reminder, if you spend $25 or more, you'll receive a free gift. So knuckle up at bareknuckleshop.com.
Tonight is Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship coming to you from Leeds in West Yorkshire in the United Kingdom. Our fourth time for BKFC in the UK. He, of course, is Chris Lights Out Lytle. I'm Sean Wheelock. Last night, we were at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. Tonight, we're in Leeds. Next Saturday, we move to Denver, Colorado. A massive card, BKFC 41, Chris. Absolutely stacked. On this card, not just some of the biggest fighters on the current BKFC roster, we have the debut of two former UFC champions, Eddie Alvarez, Luke Rockhold. We also have the debut of a former boxing world champion, Mike Alvarado.
Sean, I get tired of saying this. I feel like an idiot. I say it all the time, but this is the best card we've ever put on. I mean, we just keep topping the other cards, but this one especially, I mean, especially the last four fights, all of them. I mean, I think our fourth fight from the end is a title fight. That's how good that card is. The title fights are all the way down that part. It's unbelievable, these fights that we have coming on. I mean, Ben Rothwell, his second fight versus Josh Copeland. I mean, for real, that's a title fight. Okay, it's third. You have Chad Mendez versus Eddie Alvarez. Unbelievable. Like I said, Eddie Alvarez, former UFC champ, I think Strikeforce champ. I'm not sure. And then you got Luke Rockhold. Unbelievable fighters we have coming on here.
Eddie Alvarez, a champion in both Bellator and the UFC. Luke Rockhold, a champion in both Strikeforce and the UFC. Again, both will be making their BKFC debut. Ben Rothwell will start talking about this fight, one of two feature bouts against Josh Copeland, who fought in the UFC, also fought in PFL, and he's also 1-0 in BKFC. On a lot of cards, that's your main event on this. This is feature bout number 2. There's a shakeout in the heavyweight division. We have a new champion now, UFC veteran Alan Belcher, taking out the previous champion, Arnold A.J. Adams. We just saw Rob Cunningham, the fighter from North Wales. He wants to be in that mix. A lot of top heavyweights flowing now into BKFC.
And that's the thing, Alan Belcher, no matter how great he is, he's light for a heavyweight. Was he 230 pounds, 240 pounds right there? These are some massive individuals we're talking about. Ben Rothwell, over 280, I believe. Rob Cunningham, over 2. I mean, these are massive individuals. Is someone like Alan Belcher going to be able to deal with that kind of size? We're going to have to find out.
Our second feature fight, this is feature fight number 1. It is a world title fight. Christine Faria has been simply dominant in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. She is the BKFC Women's 125-pound champion against the original queen of Bare Knuckle, going all the way back to BKFC 1, the Australian Bec Rawlings. This is a phenomenal fight. These are truly two of the best fighters. Forget male, forget female, forget weight classes. Two of the best, most talented fighters in all of BKFC.
And you go back to BKFC 1, Bec Rawlings, she was kind of it. She was one of the big deals from that first fight, and so she wants her title back in a way. Not really the title, but that was her claim. She was the queen of Bare Knuckle, you know, and took some time off. She's back. She wants that title back, and she wants the real title. She wants Faria's title, so this is going to be a great fight. Christine Faria's has been phenomenal, but nobody's really been able to touch her lately, so she's been really good. Going to be a great fight.
Again, on a lot of cards, that would be an outstanding main event. Our co-main, Chad Mendez, 1-0 in BKFC versus Eddie Alvarez, who we mentioned, the former 155-pound champion of both Bellator and the UFC. In our main event, Mike Perry, who has established himself as one of the real superstars right now in 2023, not just of the bare knuckle world, of all of combative sports, coming from the UFC where he was a star, now becoming a firm, legitimate superstar in BKFC. Mike Perry at 2-0 against Luke Rockhold, again, the former champion of Strikeforce and the UFC at 185 pounds. Tonight we're in Leeds. A reminder at the top of the hour, our main card begins. The way to watch worldwide is on the BKFC app. Right now, we bring you to next Saturday's event in Denver. It is the road to BKFC 41.
Platinum Mike Perry, fighting out of Technique Boxing Gym in Mineola, Florida. My accomplishments in combat sports, many UFC fights. I mean, I kind of shot up to the UFC fairly quick. I knocked a bunch of people out, I've had some lessons, I've made some mistakes, definitely learned from those. I debuted in BKFC against Julian Lane, who had 9 fights in BKFC at the time, so he was rather experienced.
Big rights to the body from Mike Perry. Perry pushing forward once more with volume. They still might not like each other, but one would think they would have to respect each other after that.
Platinum!
For me to beat him on my first bare knuckle fight when he had 9, I feel like by the time I have 9 of these, I'm gonna be so good and so dangerous. This fight with Luke happened when he was talking shit to Jake Paul on the internet, on Twitter, and like I wasn't trying to let him steal that fight from me. Everybody was trying to get me that fight. So I was like, man, I'll outbox you. So I tweeted to him, because I don't think Luke's boxing is very good. I mean, maybe I'll find out, but even still, I believe it's not better than mine. So I called him out kind of on Twitter. David Feldman and the BKFC must have thought that that was a great matchup. They definitely like to take guys and move their weight classes around. And I'm definitely interested in it to go up against a former middleweight world champion. This is quite the opportunity for me. I'm digging deep within inside myself and working really hard to knock Luke out.
My name is Luke Rockhold, born and raised in Santa Cruz, California. Yeah, I've been in the fight game a long time. I was the former and the last Strikeforce champion of the world, 2-time defending. I don't believe we got the credit we deserved until I came into the UFC and took the UFC world title and became the undisputed world champion at middleweight. So I've been in the game a long time. I've been in countless title fights since 2011. I'm still at the top of the game, still fighting the best guys in the world, and I continue to do so. I think better than anybody else in this game. Longevity is the true sign of a champion, and I'm still here at the top, and I'm still competing.
Don't load it up, snap it. See how he's snapping? Do the same thing. There you go. Nice stuff. Yeah, I like that block. That's hard.
Fighting gets old, and you get burnout in any realm of life, especially fighting. And being with the UFC, kind of being handcuffed, it doesn't allow you to really, like, you know, get inspired through the game. And having that freedom from them, giving me this, and then this opportunity with bare knuckle, it's a new venture, it's a new ground, and it's something that stimulates me and it motivates me every day. Especially a punk like Mike Perry thinking he can fight me. Fuck that guy. You know, you can't beat me, you can't fight me anywhere in this world. You're a washout. I'm a fucking champion. I'm about to show you there's levels to the game, and there's weight classes too. You should have stayed in your fucking lane.
I am looking to knock Luke out. Every chance I get, really touch that chin that the internet seems to think is quite suspect.
No one's gonna make me quit. I'm gonna be there to the fucking end. Bloody and broken, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna come for your fucking soul.
I can't get comfortable. I have to stay sharp. I have to stay vigilant and mean.
There's just not much to say anymore. It's time to fight. This is bare knuckle. This is as pure and as beautiful as it gets.
BKFC 40 live tonight from Leeds in the United Kingdom. Our prelims continue on this worldwide Freeview. Crescent Tools brings you the tale of the tape for this bout in the light heavyweight division. Bartolomé Cruel versus Ash Griffiths.
You can see here, Sean, everything fairly similar. Ash Griffiths does have a slight 3-inch reach advantage. That's about it on the tail of the tape.
from Poland, Bartłomiej Król, set to make his bare knuckle fighting championship debut.
Moimi ludźmi odpoczniemy na przełęczy. Traktowani snury, traktowani jak przestępcy. Zdobywamy szczytny, ale...
You see on Król's t-shirt the flag of his birth nation, Poland, and the flag of the nation, and now he resides, England, the St. George's Cross on that black t-shirt. Poland, one of the countries in which bare knuckle fighting in this modern revival is really exploding. Poland, in Belarus, in Russia, obviously in the United Kingdom, as well as, of course, in the United States, the home base of BKFC.
I just feel like from my past, from my experiences dealing with Polish fighters, they seem to be extremely tough, durable, coming straight forward, willing to trade punches, take one to give one.
To get us started, we go back to Ian the Machine Freeman.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a BKFC bout in the light heavyweight division, sponsored by Bucked Up Energy Drink. Now let me introduce your fighter in the red corner. This fighter weighed in at 185 pounds. Representing Hartlepool, United Kingdom, Ash Griffiths. And now, welcome his opponent in the blue corner. This fighter weighed in at 184.2 pounds. Representing Pila from Poland, Martin Kroll. And your referee for this bout, Chris Batcheldor.
Two very heavy-hitting 185-pounders. The fighters up to scratch. The call of knuckle up from referee Chris Batcheldor. Round number one, rapid fire start. Off the scratch line for the fighter from Poland, Bartłomiej Król. Quick separation. Ash Griffiths on the overhand right. The duck under the right hand from Król. Underhook now snatched by Griffiths.
And both these guys are smothering their punches right now, Sean. That's leading these clinches.
Big left hand, another left hand. There are the uppercuts from the half-time bump from Król. And down goes Ash Griffiths. Here's the mandatory 8 count from Chris Batcheldor. Up at 8 as Ash Griffiths puts his mouthpiece back in.
And Kroll smells blood right now. He's coming for the finish, you can tell.
Huge shots from the body shots. Knockdown number 2. Can you see Ash Griffiths taking the mandatory 8 from Batcheldor, taking out his mouthpiece?
It's hard to tell how hurt Ash Griffith is right now. Oh, apparently he's pretty hurt.
Breaks off his count, and the win with authority in lightning strike fashion for the fighter from Poland in his BKFC debut, Bartłomiej Król.
And Sean, just like I said earlier, just typical Polish fighter in my opinion right there. He just came straight forward and bum rushed his opponent, pushed him around, beat him up. Great fight right there for Kroll.
Disappointment for Ash Griffiths, the BKFC veteran in his second BKFC bout. The two-fight Bellator veteran just simply was not given time nor space by Bartłomiej Król.
And I know it looks like he's a little upset at how that played out, but he didn't get up in time. You know, he stayed there, or maybe it was something the referee saw he didn't like, but he went down a little easy that last time. I think something was off on him right there. I don't know if it was a body shot or he was just, head wasn't there all the way, but. And look at Król having that, look like MMA background. We just wanted to keep pushing the guy even after the knee was on the ground. Referee did a great job of jumping in and stopping it from happening.
Really good refereeing by Chris Batcheldor. Disappointment for Ash Griffiths, big win.
After 1 minute 4 seconds of the very first round, we have a winner by the way of technical knockout in the blue corner, Martin Kroll.
Great fight for Kroll right there. Great debut, came in Did exactly what he wanted to do. Put pressure on his opponent, landed a lot of good shots, got the victory.
Ash Griffiths just telling Bartolomé Cruel, I didn't have time. Griffiths disappointed on that stoppage by referee Chris Batcheldor, but indeed, Bartolomé Cruel gave Ash Griffiths no time, no space, instant pressure off of scratch.
Perfect, that's what you want to do. If there's any question, you want to jump all over your opponent right away, see how they react. Sometimes they're going to react well, and if not, it's going to be a quick night, and that's what happened tonight.
That's an impressive win for Bartolomé Cruel, the fighter from Poland, against the very accomplished pro combat sports athlete from England, Ash Griffiths. The winner by way of first-round TKO, Bartolomé Cruel defeats Ash Griffiths.
Welcome to the new BKFC app. Get monthly BKFC events for $7.99.
People that are missing it are missing out big time.
Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, only $7.99 per month.
Let's go!
Tonight only, you'll receive a free gift with any purchase of $25 or more at bareknuckleshop.com. Check out the huge selection of merch to choose from, with sizes and styles for everyone. You can place your order now at bareknuckleshop.com. And again, a reminder, if you spend $25 or more, you'll receive a free gift. So knuckle up at bareknuckleshop.com.
It's BKFC 40 live tonight from Planet Ice Leeds in West Yorkshire. Top of the hour, Chris. Our main card begins. Still 8 fights from Leeds headed your way. The way to watch worldwide is on the BKFC app. Next Saturday night, we are in Denver, Colorado in the United States for perhaps the biggest card, not just in the history of BKFC, but in this modern revival launched by our BKFC founder and president, David Feldman, of the great sport of bare-knuckle fighting. BKFC 41 is absolutely stacked. Now, earlier, we were going through our 2 feature fights. Let's now talk about our co-main event on this card. Again, it's insane that this is our co-main. Chad Mendes versus Eddie Alvarez. 2 legitimately of the biggest stars in MMA over the last 10 years, now meeting in BKFC. Second fight for Mendes in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, in the debut in BKFC for Eddie Alvarez.
And that's going to be the thing. Mendes has had 1 fight. That can make a difference sometimes. I don't care what anybody says. This is bare knuckle. It's not like having MMA, boxing, anything like that. All I say is my first fight, I felt naked out there. I was going, where's my gloves? This doesn't feel right. So Alvarez is going to go through that for a little period. I'm not sure how long it'll take. Sometimes it takes people 1 round, 2, 3, you never know. But Mendes has already had that, so that gives him an advantage right away. However, Alvarez bigger, stronger, some might say, so it's going to be an interesting fight.
And Chris, our main event, highly anticipated. This entire card is highly anticipated, but the combat sports world is really abuzz on the prospect of this fight. Platinum Mike Perry versus Luke Rockhold. A subplot of this is Perry has largely in his MMA career been a 170, Rockhold a 185. He was the 185 champion of both the UFC and before that Strikeforce. So Mike Perry's coming up in weight. Luke Rockhold has a significant weight cut. Both fighters enter supremely confident. What we know is they are both supremely talented.
You know what? At first, I didn't understand how Luke Rockhold, before thinking about this, I knew he was very athletic, very talented, but it wasn't till his last fight when he's fighting and he's losing and he starts rubbing his blood in his opponent's face. That's when I was like, this is a bare knuckle guy. He has the right mentality. I didn't know if he had it before that fight, but after watching it, I'm like, this guy's perfect. I couldn't believe we got him. I couldn't believe we signed that. That's why I think this is going to be a great fight. Those mentalities, they both have it, and that's when you get a great fight, Sean.
Chris, just talk about your own personal journey to bare knuckle fighting. You actually made your debut not for BKFC. You went 2-0 in this promotion. But you came out of retirement from the UFC. You made your debut, actually, bare knuckle fighting in the United Kingdom. What you told me really resonated is that the training camp was different for your body as you were in your 40s. You were retired from the UFC. You finished on an absolute high note, taking out Dan Hardy. and then coming back to this sport, but the training was better for your body.
So much easier. You don't understand. When you're in an MMA camp, the wrestling, the grappling, the jiu-jitsu, it tears up your body, your back, your shoulders, your knees. When I had to do bare knuckle, I said, I got to do these two. I got to come in, I got to spar, hit the bag, do whatever. It's so much easier on your body. That's why I think it's great for older fighters who've been in the game for a long time but still have a lot left. Not shop fighters, not people who are having brain, no, people who still have something left. I love the idea of them coming to do bare knuckle. It's easier on your body. It's easier on your brain. I think it's a great thing. It's why I'm such an advocate for this sport. This saves fighters' careers and the rates. I love everything about it.
And again on this card, we're seeing the debut of two former UFC champions, Eddie Alvarez, who had the 155 belt, Luke Rockhold, who had the 185 belt. Mike Alvarado, a former world champion in boxing at 147, is making his debut as well. He's not even in the top 4 fights, which shows you absolutely how stacked this card is.
Sean, I mean, like I said, such a great card, so many good fights. This is the biggest card we've ever put on. Hopefully I have to break that record and say it again next month or who knows, because we keep putting on better fights, but this is so good. There's so many good fights on this card. It's definitely worth the price of admission.
You are with us for our worldwide free view. You've seen 3 outstanding prelims from Planet Ice Leeds in West Yorkshire in the United Kingdom. Top of the hour, our main card begins. Still 8 fights headed your way. The way to watch is on the BKFC app. Right now, we take you back to the road to BKFC 41.
These are the opponents. Eddie Alvarez, my nickname is the Underground King, and I fight out of Kensington. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, baby. I lived in Philadelphia, but more importantly, I lived in a neighborhood called Kensington. It's where Rocky was filmed. Like growing up, there's boxing gyms or clubs like within a mile radius of each other everywhere. So like I grew up in a really it's in a fighting culture. It would be like in America, Kensington would be considered Dagestan. Everybody fought, everybody understood fighting. Even when we weren't boxing or fighting, we were slap boxing. It was just part of our culture. That was like our football or our baseball. We like to fight in Kensington. So growing up, I've been in a lot of fights, and then just kind of going out after high school, going out with the wrong crowd. I've been in a number of street fights. So like I tell everyone, I've been in a lot more street fights than I've been in like regulated sanctioned fights in my life. And being in street fights is what kind of drove me to fight professionally. I never lost a street fight, and I truly believed at like 19, 20 years old that I couldn't lose in a fight. Call me crazy or like maybe I was a bit delusional. I just didn't think that if it came to hand-to-hand combat or a fight, full-on fight, that I could lose. And that's why I dove into professional fighting. And it ended up working out well for me. But it was the culture I grew up in. It wasn't anything odd or weird about it. If you went to Kensington in the 90s and in the early 2000s, fighting was just a real prominent part of that area.
My name is Chad Money Mendez. I'm fighting here out of Sacramento, California, Team Alpha Male.
Huge right hand and down goes Fans. Beautifully timed by Mendez.
So I fought in the UFC for a long time. I fought guys like Conor McGregor, Jose Aldo twice, Frankie Edgar, some of the best names in the sport in my division. Been doing this since I was 5 years old. I started wrestling at a very young age, every single year, all the way up through college. Graduated and jumped right into pro fighting the very next day. So this has been a long journey, loving it, and we're here now about to get in there and face a guy like Eddie. You know, going into that first fight, obviously I had no idea what it was going to be like. There was some ideas, talking to teammates that have fought in the past, bare knuckle, and you know, just kind of picking their brains on it. But until you actually get in there and feel it, you know, it's a completely different thing. But I actually really enjoyed it. You know, I wasn't sure if I was going to do another one, you know, mainly because of just, I guess, safety reasons. And, you know, my family, I have a family now, but God, it was a ton of fun. I enjoyed it. I feel like I'm, you know, built for this, you know, fast, explosive, powerful.
Huge right hand. Fans in trouble and down for the second time in this fight.
You know, short balls to the wall rounds. And I don't know, I just feel like I was kind of made for this. So I wanted to get in there. You know, they talked about a guy like Eddie, and I was extremely excited about that fight. I love that matchup. I've been watching Eddie fight in MMA for years, probably most of his career. Always somebody that, you know, I enjoyed watching, and to be able to step into a ring, especially doing something like this, bare knuckle boxing against a legend like that, you know, is something I was like, sign me up for. You know, both of us have been right at the top of our divisions our entire careers. You know, this is a fight that, in my mind, is what gets me out of bed every day to get in here in the gym and train, man. It excites me, it motivates me. You know, getting in there and being able to beat a guy like Eddie, dude, that's something that my kids will remember for the rest of their lives. I'll remember, you know, and it's something I'm really looking forward to.
I really made a name for myself. I started in Japan. I represented America in a Japanese tournament, and what most would call like the Pride Lightweight Grand Prix. It was the Dream Lightweight Grand Prix at the time. I represented America. I went undefeated in a tournament there. Got myself ranked #2 in the world at lightweight. Came here to America. I won a few local titles, and then I went on to become the Bellator champion, not once but twice. I left Bellator as champion. I moved on to the UFC. I became the UFC champion. I'm the first ever to win both the Bellator and UFC championships. No one's ever captured that. I'm the only person to ever do it, and I think I'm going on, I think this year I may be going on 2 decades of fighting. I started when I was 19, and we're going on our 2nd decade right now. I've been doing the same sport for so long that sometimes it gets monotonous. The training camps get monotonous, the movements get monotonous, the diet, everything is exactly the same. It's like Groundhog's Day. So to be able to get involved in a new sport with, it's a lot different training, a different speed, a different pace, and then like learning the sport at the same time. I remember the biggest part of MMA that I loved is in the beginning, I had so much to learn. There's so much I didn't know, and that was a huge part of my excitement. So now with bare knuckle, there's so many small nuances in the sport that I have to learn, that I can call veterans who are bare knuckle guys that I already have, and are going to reach out to these guys to ask them questions like in this sport. I've been to some events and I can see how things go, but my eyes, I'm like a little kid again. My eyes are wide open. I have so much more to learn. I've always respected Chad. He's lost to nothing but the greatest fighters on the planet, you know, and Jose Aldo, Frankie Edgar, and Volkanovski. He's only lost to greats. After April 29th, no offense to him, it's one more great guy he lost to. It's no big, no big deal. He's been a storm in bare knuckle. His first fight in bare knuckle was impressive. He put on a hell of a fight. It wasn't a quick one and done. He took some shots, he gave some shots. I respect him. He's fast, he's explosive. We're crossing our T's and dotting our I's and making sure we're fully prepared for the best Chad Mendes there is. So I'm excited.
Yeah, baby. They talked about signing Eddie and wanted to know if that's something that I'd be interested in. I said send the contract right away. That's a guy, again, that motivates me. You know, Eddie's a tough son of a bitch. You know, the dude's been fighting in MMA for years, you know, been around since almost the beginning of it. Eddie's got some big balls coming into this fight, you know. His very first one, you know, me going into that last fight against a pro boxer, you know, obviously it's something, you know, I trained extremely hard for, but had zero idea of what it was actually going to be like in there. And it is different, you know, and for Eddie to come in and take his first bare knuckle fight against a guy like me, I mean, it's pretty ballsy. You know, I think one of the things I took away from that first fight is I would not want to get in there with somebody that hits hard as hell and is fast and explosive, you know. And so, yeah, hats off to Eddie, man. This is gonna be a big one, and that shit hurts when you get hit. So, hats off to him for sure. Yeah, honestly, I don't know how you could prepare for somebody like myself. You know, obviously not trying to brag and be big-headed here, but man, this is probably the best I've ever felt in my entire career. You know, I've been doing a very specific diet for the last 2 years for health reasons, and you know, I wish I would have known about this throughout my entire UFC career or even wrestling career. I feel tremendous. I feel just so much power, speed. My endurance is so much better.
Yeah, we're building rotational power here, getting ready to throw some big shots. There's going to be a couple that sneak through, so that's what we're doing here. Trying to keep him healthy, get his body ready to throw lots of power.
The reason I think I could beat Chad has less to do with Chad and more to do with me. He's a puzzle to deal with because it's not every day you find a guy who's 5'6" and 165. Usually guys are at 165 or they're 6 foot, they're this and that. So he's a unique body style, a unique athlete, and he poses a lot of threats, you know, as far as punching. He has knockout power, and you know, these are the opponents that I look to fight. I think you're only as good as the champions that you beat. And if you can't put great guys in front of you and beat great guys, then I don't care what your record is. I don't care if you're undefeated. I don't care if you never lost. I think it's about putting great men in front of you and taking care of them and getting it done on fight night.
You know, for me, it's a huge challenge, but man, getting in there and beating a guy like that is something that will just seal my legacy, I feel like. This is a guy that, you know, everybody knows is a tough dude. He's, you know, been in the sport for a long time. He's beaten some of the best. He's been a UFC champion, and that's the challenge I want. That's what motivates me to continue fighting. Look, I've lost to some tough guys in my UFC career, but this isn't the UFC. This is completely different. Again, I feel like I am completely made for this, and a guy like Eddie Alvarez, for me to beat, when I beat him, is gonna be one of those legacy dudes that check off the list for sure. You know, this is a guy that I think his time has come and gone. This is, you know, time for me to step in there and show the world who I am. You know, this is a fight that I know I can win. I'm gonna get in there and I'm gonna knock Eddie out.
I have the power to get it done, maybe the 6 minute mark. I think that's where I can land my shot when things settle down. He's not moving so much. At welterweight, middleweight, and I damn sure got the power to do it at 165. So just one clean shot, that's all it's gonna take.
This is a guy that I know that I can go out there and knock out.
4 big shots, we might be done. Welcome to Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, Chad Mendes.
Chad, I respect you, but when anybody signs on the dotted line to fight me, I think you have some sort of belief, some sort of delusion that you can beat me. It's my life's mission now to let you know that you were completely wrong, and signing that paper was the worst mistake of your life.
I signed the dotted line, you signed the dotted line too, Eddie. You're going down April 29th.
Tonight's Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, presented by Fucked Up Energy Drink, is back in the United Kingdom as we make our debut in